Hello traders, Douglas here. Today was FOMC day, but in my world, it was red alert because today is the first red day that I've had in 2 to 3 weeks. TTW Trade Finder has been pretty good to me, and today I was just on the wrong side of things. Didn't have to be, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just aren't operating correctly, and you just have to stop trading before you make too many big mistakes. Okay, so when you know the day is not going with you, just live to trade another day. That's something I honestly have tremendous struggles with. I want desperately to win all the time, and that's just not the way trading goes. So I have a tendency to start over trading once I get too far behind and then making things worse. But fortunately, today, and it was a pretty bad day by my standards. I mean, it was a really bad day by my standards comparatively to the last month, but in the past, it would have been much worse. So always improving on those things, always keeping them in the back of your mind. So let's cover what happened today. So the FOMC notes were coming out later and things got super volatile, but the beginning of the day, and this is pretty normal, there wasn't as much activity as you would normally see. You know, the market was in this pretty tight little range, and I wasn't trading yet when this red guy came in here. This is pretty early. I like skipping the opening madness, but today there really wasn't opening madness. So let's skip forward. Obviously this one wouldn't have worked out, but that's kind of in no man's land. And like I said, that's really early after the open. If you would have taken that one, that's plenty of room for something. If you would have taken that one, that's plenty of room for something. I did not take any of those, but this is about when I started watching, paying attention. I was tempted to take this one here because we've come back to this level that's kind of, well, it is pretty much a triple top at this point. You could even call it maybe a quadruple top depending on how you view this peak here. It just didn't feel like the market was in the mood though to start going down. You've got your market volume line here is green all the way through. So there's not a whole lot of weakness showing. So I was skipping that one, but, and this is a play that I like to make. It just didn't work out for me today. This red dot right here. So we have this topper and then it breaks through and then we get the volume stop right here. I like these plays quite a bit. A lot of times what that does is you're gathering, you're gathering stops behind these lines. So every time it comes up to a certain level and goes down, you've got players getting in short, putting their stops, right behind that level. And then so they'll run those stops, hit this market volume stop, and then it can go down. But there's still no weakness down here. I took that, got a little bit out of it, didn't make any profit on it. It went my way a little bit, and then it came back and stopped me out. So we started out with a loser. That wasn't too big of a deal. Here, I went short again, hiding behind this liquidity. And again, it goes in my favor a little bit and then comes up and stops me out. And at this point, that's quite a sustained amount of green market volume here. So it's not showing a lot of weakness. And one thing that I didn't really pay attention to was all of the volume resting in the book. All the limit orders are way up top, right? So there's a clue that you should be biased long, but I'll show you one of the problems with that in a minute because that comes back to bite me. So let's go through. So I've lost, 2-3 trades at this point. And so now I'm a bit gun shy. We come in here. This is really where I should been thinking about trying for another short. But at this point now I've seen these up here, this resting liquidity. And now I just, in my mind, that's where I want price to go. And for the long-term bias, that is where you would expect price to go. And indeed, after the FOMC madness, price went up a decent amount after everything kind of shook out and corrected. So it headed up in that direction, but that's one of the problems with trying to play these biases on the short term. Like, they should be your long-term biases, but you don't know when or how it's going to go after those levels, right? And I'll show you how that comes in to bite me here. And this is just, like I said, it's just one of those days where your mind's on the wrong side all day, and you just need to quit trading. So, this big green dot comes in, so that's a trade of at least 100 contracts. Comes in right there. You had a sweep of 499, so that's a big clue. There's one player that got 499 contracts in there, and then these red squares are where liquidity was added, resting liquidity was added in the book, kind of immediately there, sells, and they got immediately filled. So, they kind of popped in to defend this area. You get the sell sweep, you get the 2 volume stops. But I've been burned so many times going short that I don't take it. And then this buy sweep comes in here, and I thought that maybe this guy would get trapped. I think, pretty sure I went long there. I did. I went long there, got some on my side, but now I'm way too biased to the upside, and don't get any profit out of that. It comes all the way back, stops me out. And as we keep going along, I'm kind of surprised at how big of a pullback we ended up getting. You can see that now the market is showing some weakness, and this is my final loser. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is just the pullback. We have a nice big size pullback. I'll get in long, and then we'll go up and make a very large run. And again, it shows me in the right direction. I have plenty of time to take a small scalp or get out, break even, or do whatever I want to do, but I don't, and I lose again. So it was all losers today. That's where I quit. I said, okay, today's not my day. We've had a good run. We'll come back and fight again another day. And then let's see here. We're getting closer towards the meeting minutes. I mean, the market just starts kind of dying the closer you're getting. And so this is definitely, if you're short through all this, this is at least the first place that you want to take off some heat. So you would exit here where I got fooled. And then if you keep some runners going, after you get these 2 big sweeps in here, and you get a couple big volume players come in, and you get a volume stop, I mean, that's a great place to take off profits. And even if you did, once it comes back up here and you get another sell sweep and another volume stop in that direction, and right now that's where the market's headed, that could be an area where you get back in with a small risk and try to go back down and get what's resting down here now. Let's see what it ended up doing. So I don't know if it came back to get all of this. If you had gotten short here, you definitely would have had plenty of time to take some sort of profit out of that. And that's where I shut it down and left, just purely disgusted with my trading abilities today. But that's the reality of trading, man. That's just the way it goes. You have to get used to that. If you don't get used to that, and that's something I didn't accept for a long time, that's how you blow up accounts, is if you don't recognize where your mindset's at, that it's just completely off and that you're not going to do well, then you just keep firing bullets and losing more money. And honestly, I probably ended up firing too many bullets today. I probably should have quit sooner than I did, but proud of myself for not wrecking myself too harshly. And that's the way trading goes, boys. Remember that. Hopefully we'll come back and do better next time. Peace out.